As we all know, over the past 6-7 years, the Golden State Warriors have dominated the NBA. They've had one of the craziest dynasties of all time. They've been one of the most fun teams to watch. They recorded the most wins ever in an NBA season. They had three of the best shooters of all time on the same team at once, and honestly, in my opinion, the best starting five ever. But most people think their dynasty is over and that they're done. But I think this could be just a new beginning for them. Before we get started, if you don't mind, if you go and hit that like button, subscribe button down below, it doesn't take very long and it helps me out a lot. It gets it out to more people and helps the channel grow. With that said, that's all I have to say. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, well you might ask, why is the NBA terrified of the Golden State Warriors? I mean, they're not even that good. Right now they're outside the playoff picture, and if anything, they're probably going to be a first or second round exit. I don't get it. Well, let's talk about it, man. They still have their core group of players. Although Klay Thompson is not playing this year, I'm not really talking about them winning this year. I'm talking about them creating their dynasty for the upcoming next 4, 5, whatever years. Alright? So, they still have Curry, they still have Klay, and they still have Draymond. Klay will be back next year. I know it's a long time being out, but they still have all three of them. And we saw this team grow together from the 2013-2014 season where they got bounced in 6 by the Clippers. And then the very next year, Steph comes out, wins the MVP. They get the first seed in the conference, and they win the NBA championship against LeBron James. That's very impressive. I know Cavs were injured, blah, 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 but still, all in all, it's very impressive they made that leap from being first-round exits to NBA champions. Then, of course, you know, they broke the record of wins the next year, but blew a 3-1 lead to the Cavs in the finals. So they were joked on for a while, but not for too long, only a couple months, until Kevin Durant joined the team. And well, that was just like basically a cakewalk back-to-back championships. And honestly, if Kevin Durant and Klay didn't get hurt in the playoffs, they would have won 3 back-to-back. It would have been a 3-peat. But they didn't, and it's over. Kevin Durant left. Klay Thompson's been out for damn near 2 years, and people are starting to forget about him. But I'm not going to let y'all forget about him. You know why? Well, here's why. Okay, so yeah, they still have Curry, Klay, and Draymond like I just told you. But you know who else they have now? They have James Wiseman. And so far, he's came in and shown why he was the number 2 pick. He has been a beast this year. His numbers are pretty decent, but it doesn't show the full picture. But he's averaging 12 points per game. He's averaging 1.5 blocks. Now, that's very impressive for a rookie. He's shooting 50% from the field, but he's shooting 33% from deep on 1 attempt per game. So at least he's already taking 1 per game. And he's kind of inconsistent with his 3, but I have saw some game where he looks really amazing. I think I've even seen him hit a couple of step backs a few times, so that's very impressive. You know, he's got 6 rebounds per game. Not bad, but just seeing the impact he has on the floor out there. Now, obviously, sometimes he just looks like a rookie. You know, he has lapses on defense. Maybe he'll take a bad shot or 2. But overall, in terms of him just being a rookie, he looks very, very good. Because everybody can't be Luka Doncic, Trae Young, or Zion when they come in. But he is definitely contributing to wins, and that's why they're starting him on the team, obviously. And while this team doesn't have the bench depth it used to, it has some better players than it used to now. We're talking about Kelly Oubre Jr. and Andrew Wiggins. Now, I know Kelly Oubre's been pathetic this year. He's been absolutely terrible. And Andrew Wiggins, every year before this year, has been pretty pathetic considering how much money he gets paid. But Andrew Wiggins had the best year of his career so far, and I think this Golden State Warriors system is really working well for him. And Oubre, I think it's just a matter of time until he's used to it. He's looking better and better every game. So I'm not really too worried about him. I've watched him his entire career, and he's a big energy player, plays a lot of defense. He can definitely hit some 3s. He hasn't been hitting them this year, but he's a streak shooter. If anything, he's like J.R. Smith, just not as efficient. But think about that, man. When Klay comes back, that could move Oubre to the bench with how good Wiggins has played. So then they have Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond, and James Wiseman. I mean, that's wild. Then you have Oubre off the bench. But guess what, man? You know how they got Andrew Wiggins? They made a trade for him. And you know what else was in that trade? They got the Timberwolves first-round pick this year. It's top 3 protected. But even if the Timberwolves are the worst team in the league, man, guess what? They have like a 40% chance of losing that pick. And if the Timberwolves are like the 3rd worst team or the 4th worst team, odds are the Warriors are getting that pick no matter what, man. I would say overall, they probably have about a 75% chance at the moment of getting that pick. And if they get a top 5 pick or something in that realm, that's going to be fucking insane, man. Because the trade assets and the way this team could go would be amazing. I mean, we're talking about, let's just theoretically say they get the 5th overall pick. So they have Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, Draymond Green, James Wiseman, and a 5th overall pick. They could trade any combination of any of those players. Now, obviously, you wouldn't touch Curry. But anybody else, man, I would be thinking about it. Maybe not Klay, because he's just like the perfect, duo partner for Curry. But you could trade Wiggins, you could trade Oubre, you could trade Draymond. I would say pick one of those guys, if not 2 of them. Package them with the 5th overall pick and or Wiseman, and you could get yourself an amazing player. The Warriors front office has shown time and time again that they are amazing at getting stuff done. I mean, they got Kevin Durant after the team was already amazing, bro. And then when Kevin Durant left them, yes, he did leave them, but guess what? They made sure they got D'Angelo Russell back for him. They didn't want him, but they knew they could get him on the team, get him looking good enough, and they got Andrew Wiggins for him. And Andrew Wiggins has been pretty good for him, man. I thought it was a bad trade at the time, but in hindsight, now he's looking pretty good. So good for them. But the trade I think they could make if they get this pick, man, if they get like a top 5 pick, I think they could trade for the Timberwolves, man. I didn't want to say it because I know Timberwolves fans are going to be mad, but I think they can trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. And the saddest thing of all is, man, they will be giving the Timberwolves their own pick back. Imagine that they get the 5th overall pick and the Timberwolves ended up trading Karl-Anthony Towns for like the 5th pick and like maybe 3 more first rounders and then Draymond and Wiseman, something like that. So you had Draymond, Wiseman, the 5th pick, and like 3 more first rounders. I say that's a very fair trade value if, the only reason I say that, don't get mad, don't dislike the video yet. I'm saying if Karl-Anthony Towns gets tired of this Minnesota situation, he's like, okay, man, I can't do it no more. Get me out here, trade me. Because that might happen, man. He's been on this team for quite a while, and he has no talent around him. None. He came in from day one being a monster, and ever since they hadn't had anyone. So I do feel kind of bad for him. I mean, I don't know, man. It's dangerous to give the Warriors this much trade assets. I mean, who knows? They could trade for Giannis. If he comes unhappy, they get eliminated in the 1st round or 2nd round. Bill, I bet he's already starting to get happy. The Wizards suck. They could trade for Bill. If you pair Bill or Giannis or Karl-Anthony Towns or whoever with Curry and Klay Thompson, that's fucking disgusting. I mean, you might as well call it the Warriors 2.0 at that point. Especially if you still have Draymond. I mean, it's the same damn thing. It's just not Kevin Durant. It's another superstar. So, I really like what the Warriors have coming up. Will they win the championship this year? Hell no. They could miss the playoffs. I don't think they will. I think they're going to be like the 4 seed, 5 seed maybe. I think they can probably make it to the 2nd round. And I think they will probably lose there. But the thing is, they have Klay Thompson coming back. They have that pick coming in, more than likely. And it's just a good time to be a Warriors fan, man. This past 7 years and probably the next 5-6 years. It's a good time to be a Warriors fan. I'm personally not. I'm a Wizards fan, so I don't know how y'all feel. Anyways, I'm predicting the Warriors will get a championship within the next 3 or 4 years. At least one. They could have another dynasty. And if they have another dynasty, well, then just say, I talked about it first. I might not have called it because I didn't call it, but I talked about it. But I think in the next 3 or 4 years, the Warriors will win an NBA championship. And they will be looked at as on one of the greatest dynasties of all time. And that's all I got time for y'all today. If you liked the video, if you didn't earlier, please hit that like button down below. I would greatly appreciate it. But until next time, Exotic Sports out.